everybody. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul. I'm Melissa Wilson from Fox 26, morning news anchor, as well as a medical reporter there. This Lunch for the Soul live stream is all about us being able to connect with each other and me sharing amazing stories of faith with some incredible people that I get to meet through my job. And boy, do I have a guest for you today. I feel like we need a drum roll. We've got a dramatic story to share with you today. If you're having a hard day, I hope we raise your spirits. I hope that we take this time to make us all not take our lives for granted, because Alvino Santana died at his gym, and then his colleagues brought him back to life. How about that? And then with a whole lot of love and a whole lot of medical care from Memorial City Medical Center, he is back. So without further ado, here's Alvino. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul.
Thank you. Calm down. No, I'm kidding. Nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm going to go back in time so that if anybody was watching our 9 o'clock news this morning, they have gotten a taste of your story. But this is a time when we can really talk more in detail. So let's talk about what happened back in October. You got up just another day. You were heading into work at LA Fitness.
Yeah, I was. I had actually gone from my full-time job, and then I came in and put on my gym clothes because I'm always so happy to do my gym classes and stuff. Went over there and stuff without any sort of inclinations that something was going wrong and stuff. So I went in, was apparently preparing to do my class and stuff.
And you're a kickboxing, cardio kickboxing instructor,
correct.
right?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And I just went to the ground and stuff. And some people were walking by, and maybe somebody notified the front desk. Somebody came up and started doing CPR on me at that time. It was kind of surreal because I do not remember any of that ever happening. Nothing. The personnel that were there, they slapped what's very important at this point is an AED on me. And so
for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's almost looks like a toolkit, but it's an automated external defibrillator, and that's what shocks the heart and brings it back. So, and just so that people understand the difference of a heart attack, he went into sudden cardiac arrest, and that's different than a heart attack. This is where the heart just instantly stops, and you just literally drop dead right there in front of your colleagues in your class, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, and that's basically what happened. Like I said, I don't have any recollection of pretty much that. I want to say at least a week after it happened. I came to, apparently I was in the hospital, and when I woke up, hospital personnel were saying there, hey, you need to sign these forms. You're going to be having a triple bypass surgery and stuff. So I had no choice, signed it up, and signed all papers and stuff like that. And a few hours later, I was wheeled into the holding area, and everybody there at the hospital was so wonderful and stuff like that. Went into the operating room. They put a little mask on my face and stuff, said, count to 10. By the time I got to 3, I was gone. Next thing you know, I woke up, in my room, and, what happened and stuff. And, everybody's like, you're done, surgery's over and stuff like that. And, I have the scar on my chest, to show that, I did have the surgery.
Let's go back to something, Alvino, that happened that was so dramatic. Okay, so you get to the hospital and it appeared that you were brain dead. So they're thinking, which happens a lot in this situation, they were able to jumpstart your heart, but you weren't waking up and you were having seizures, or what's called posturing. And so doctors thought that this was into the line. Organ donors and a donation team had been called in and to harvest your organs and to help somebody else. And then all of a sudden you sit up in bed. It's just remarkable that your brain was able to survive that. However, let's talk about what happened. You had something that they call the Dory face. For anybody who's seen Finding Nemo, Dory asked the questions over and over and over, and that was you, right? So they would come in, introduce themselves, 1 minute later leave, come back, and you had no idea that you'd ever met them, like 17 times in a row, right?
Something to that effect, yes. I kept on asking, I guess, the same questions over and over and over. Um, but then again, 5 minutes later, my attention span was just, my short term attention span was pretty much not good at that point, that I couldn't remember. So 10 minutes later, another same nurse or the same doctor would walk in, and I'd be asking, hey, what happened? What's going on? Why am I here? Blah, 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 and all that. Uh, it may be funny right now, but
It
back
wasn't
then,
at the time. Yeah.
yes, yes. At the time, it was one of those things that, I did not know, you know, my mind wasn't being able to stay retentive
Mhm.
and, letting me know, the rest of my body know, this is what happened to you. You had a surgery, your memory and things like that get affected when, you have this serious issue as far as a heart attack, as far as a cardiac arrest and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Your mind shuts down, basically, maybe from lack of oxygen and whatnot
Yeah.
and stuff. And it is pretty scary because I don't really remember from that time that it happened till about a week later. Everything was very, very vague for
Well,
me.
and and we just try to joke about it now because you're okay. But like you said, it was no laughing matter. It had to be very frightening for your family, your friends, and it was scary for your doctor. So I interviewed your surgeon at Memorial Hermann Memorial City, and he told
Uh,
me all the plans that he started putting into place because not only was he going to need to perform open heart surgery on you, he wanted to protect your brain. Everybody who knows when you're put to sleep, anesthesia can really mess with your brain for days or weeks. I mean, it's not an easy process, but when you've already got a brain that's stressed, he was very concerned about that. So we figured that out, but he had a big challenge besides that. And I'm going to show everybody the picture. So
oh boy.
yeah, this is incredible. And your doctor is so amazed by this and said that he knew you had to be a man of faith when he realized he was going to need to cut through this to get to your heart. Here we go. A rosary tattoo on your chest. Tell us the story behind this and how remarkable that you wanted your surgeon to protect it. And he did, as you can see the scar there, but it's still all intact.
And it's quite a story because back then I was living in South Texas and stuff, and I had a friend of ours tattoo me that rosary because I've seen a couple of people that had a rosary, on their chest. I said, you know what? I I believe in faith, yes, and so I wanted one done as well. So I had that put on my chest back then, and so then years later after this surgery happened, Dr. Mackers, bless his heart, Dr. Mackers, he did the surgery. He opened up my chest, but when he was able to close it, he kept pretty much the whole rosary intact to make sure it stayed as evenly as possible, to not mess it up. So one of the things that I'm grateful to him, not only for bringing me back as well, I mean, having me still continue with life, the rosary and stuff, I have faith in God, of course, and even more so after this surgery that happened, and being able to keep it as straight as possible. This must mean something in faith that is happening right now because I'm alive. This rosary stayed in place. Dr. Macros, he did a wonderful job in keeping it as
Mhm.
easily as possible and stuff like that.
Well, it was neat to talk to him because he said he's been doing this type of surgery for a quarter of a century, never remembers any moment like this. It really touched him. He called it a Christmas miracle, which
Uh,
is very special, I thought, to hear of a doctor say that. I think it's really important for us to talk about the faith in this situation because you died. If you hadn't have had, if you hadn't been at the right place at the right time, think about this. If this had happened 30 minutes before you got to work, and when you're driving in, if it had happened when you left, the likelihood of having an AED there and somebody who knows quality CPR, that's what your surgeon said. A lot of times people don't survive because people will have a basic idea about how to do CPR, but doing it exactly right at exactly the right time is a completely different story. Everything was lined up to save your life. Where do you feel and how do you feel that your faith came into play with you getting a second chance at life?
you know what? One of the scary parts, first of all, was me getting to the gym. I
Mm-hmm.
had no pain, no symptoms whatsoever getting to the gym. Even when I got to the gym, I was preparing for my class
Mm-hmm.
and nothing. Then next thing you know, I'm on the ground. As far as faith, you have to have a strong faith, a belief in God to
Mm-hmm.
be able to have Him hear you and see what's going on and say, hey, no, he's not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a little bit more time here, to serve his purpose and
How do
stuff.
you deal with that of knowing that you're supposed to be here, obviously? Well, I mean, you're so strong. We look at you here, we see how muscular you are. Looking at you, you look like the picture of health. But but ho-
Mm,
but inside there was a storm brewing. How do you deal with waking up every day? Are you just more appreciative? Do you feel like are you searching for what your purpose is? Do you feel like you know?
you have to really be appreciative, yes, first of all. Looking at a windy day today, looking at, a cold front in a couple of days, it's going to be a little bit cool. Appreciating the fact that you are able to still go through these things at this point.
Mhm.
Um, to be able to do that and in the same instance, know what you're having to try to
Mhm.
figure out as well, that's a challenge right there.
Yeah.
Yes, you have all this buildings, trees, the weather,
Mhm.
your family, your friends, all that stuff. But in the same instance, after what I went through, you have to kind of try to. I'm trying to figure out why this happened to me, why
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
still here with us, still going through the interview, having an interview as well. Um, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean,
Mhm.
yes, it is a tough thing, but eventually I will be able to figure out why and how I'm going to get even better myself. One of my
Well,
goals is to get back into the gym because there were so many people that were appreciative. They were sending me texts as far as, hey, when are you coming back? We miss you already. We love your class and stuff like that.
mhm.
I just, I'm ready to come back, but of course, I have to take it slow. And that's one of my motivating factors right now,
Mhm.
as
Well,
far
are
as
you
that.
seeing? We've got some viewers here who are just praising God and they are thanking the Heavenly Father. Thank you, Rebecca, Sharon, Christiana, all of you who are watching and joining and touched by this miracle stated by his doctor that it's truly a miracle. It's lovely for you all to join us and then take time to comment because it's just a remarkable story, Alvino. It's incredible. Let's talk more about what was going on. So, the first time I talked to you, you told me more than likely you feel like it was clogged arteries that led to this. With you working out all the time and everything, do you feel like it was more of a diet thing as far as your lifestyle is concerned? Was it genetic? Have the doctors given you any indicator there so that we can all learn from this and perhaps protect ourselves from something like this?
Right, right. And with that, I mean, every culture you want to try to live as healthy as possible.
Hmm.
But does it happen? Possibly, possibly not. In the same instance, mom's cooking, is always there. You have the good meals when, mom
Right.
was around and stuff like that. Could that have been a contributing factor? Maybe. But
Hmm.
in the same instance, also, when you have possibly have some issues as far as, say, like even high blood pressure. If, you grew up with your parents having that,
Hmm.
that could be a contributing factor. And that could be just the beginning from having a high blood pressure issue that can lead all the way up to the clogged arteries and then so forth and so on.
Hmm.
Then you wind up having some serious issues like that.
Hmm.
So I think with, as far as everybody tries to eat healthy, yes, but in the same instance, I think a lot of it has to do with your food choices. I
Sure.
mean, you have to really, it's not easy to want to say, hey, I'm going to just eat salad the rest of my life.
Hmm.
It's not as easy as it sounds because every day, okay, it's Monday, salad,
Hmm.
Tuesday, Wednesday, salad.
Yeah.
But after a while, you're gonna want, hey, let me have this 8 course meal over here.
Course,
Then,
yeah. And there's
then
just a
it,
balance. Don't you think it's a happy
right,
balance of making
it,
sure
it,
you're getting those fresh fruits and veggies? I just want to talk to you before we wrap up. We're almost out of time. But for somebody who might be joining us right now, and it's hard for them
mhm.
to understand your faith, it's hard for them to understand how you could go and get a cross tattooed on your chest because that's a true sign to everybody of your faith. Where do you find that interfaith? Is it something you grew up with? Is it something that came naturally? Is it something that happened because of a friend or family? Where does it come from?
Well, to me, honestly, I think by getting this rosary on my chest, it was just something that I preferred, I chose to do. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of, say, my cousins, my brothers, my,
Mm.
everybody else say, hey, you know what? They all had rosaries. I'm gonna go ahead and get one myself. No, it was just my simple choosing because, like I said, I still had faith back then, and it's even stronger now, of course. But um, getting the rosary was just simply my choosing,
Mm-hmm.
allowing me to have that uh, put on my chest way back then. At this point, it has more of a special meaning to me at this point. Just keep your mind strong and the faith as well, and good things can follow from that. So, even if it's a simple cross, if you decide to put a tattoo or anything, just, if you strongly believe in it, then you will make it happen, and your belief in having that faith will be stronger for you in the long run.
Well, I know you're chomping at the bit to get back, but you've got to go through a couple months of cardiac rehab. So you will be going in. They'll be closely monitoring you starting, is it in February that they'll really watch and help you build back that strength?
Right, right. Early February, they already scheduled it for me. I'm kind of chomping at the bit, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
to get back into it. I mean, it's going to be a slow process, but to me, I'm already walking. I'm
Mm-hmm.
already, wanting to do more. I mean, if you have that much motivation behind you, you're getting a little bit stronger day by day by day. You just have to get over these little bumps in the road, as far as the fears that you have. Doing a little bit more than you have to challenge yourself. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing right there. Challenge yourself every day to get stronger. For those of you that had the open bypasses like myself, just
Mm-hmm.
challenge yourself every single day to make it happen, because if without that, you'll just regress and you'll just want to sit down and not do anything the rest of your life, and you're going to watch life pass you by because you just didn't want to move forward from that. and
Well,
stuff.
I
So
want to say, Alvino, if you look right here at Sarah, she says, I needed to hear this. And then others are just saying, this is real. This is a blessing. And they're so
uh-huh.
thankful that you are sharing your story because you are making a difference. It's information that you can share about lifestyle, but also your faith and how you got through a really tough time and you're continuing to grow your strength every day. Thank you for sharing with us on Lunch for the Soul. It's really filling my soul with joy. And I certainly hope it does everybody too. We wish you nothing but good health from here on out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for having me today. It was a wonderful feeling at this point, and I look forward to, if anybody wants to talk to me as far as that and stuff, I'm always on Facebook, and you will be able to, I can offer words of encouragement, motivation, and just simple conversations.
On
And
that note, everyone, his name is Alvino Santana. So he should be easy for you to find if you want to reach out to him. Bless you in the new year, Alvino. Thank you again for sharing this. You're an amazing man. Remember, everybody, you can join us every Wednesday at 12:30 right here for Lunch for the Soul. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thanks, Alvino. Take care of you.
thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.